It definitely is helpful if we have a nutritional plan in place. Welcome to Reps and Redemption. What would your life look like if you started to prioritize your health and your faith? Have you been up late at night Googling healthy grocery lists, upper body workouts, or quiet time with God ideas? Hey there, I'm Ashley Harvey, college athlete, Jesus follower, now wife and stay-at-home mom of 3 daughters. In this podcast, you will be motivated to build your physical strength, increase in biblical wisdom, and utilize tactical health tips. If you're ready to be a part of a like-minded community of moms who want to be bold in their faith and live well, you're in the right place. Grab an iced coffee or a Celsius and head to the gym. Let's dive in. Hey there, welcome back to the show. I hope you have enjoyed the series that I have been sharing on pregnancy and my experience. I'm probably going to continue this topic later on this summer when baby number 3, technically baby number 4, is due for me and my family in July. I wanted to talk about, I love those videos on YouTube where it's like what I eat in a day. So I'm going to probably post an extra episode on this topic in the next week or two. And I want to do it very, legit. So I don't want to just guess. And I just started tracking again in the last 2 weeks. So I want to share with you coming up soon, kind of just my ideal day of how much protein I try to get, carbs, fat, and what I end up getting. And sometimes it's on point and sometimes it's not. So I want to keep a little diary of that and be able to share that with you in the next week or two. And today we are going to talk about the reps of a healthy pregnancy, because that's what this show is about. We are talking about being faith-filled, fitness-loving mamas who are ambitious and want to prioritize our health. We want to live a healthy life, and we want to do things a little bit differently than other people, and actually than most of the world does it. And we want to try to be as holistic as possible, make room for learning, make room for error, make room for a little bit of balance, and just go from there. So in episode 62, we talked about how to prepare your body for a healthy pregnancy. And that kind of kicked off the entire topic of, what 3 things can we do? What can we focus on? And this episode is kind of a closure to that, but I'm also just kind of going to recap a few things that we should focus on when it comes to becoming pregnant or family planning. And today we are talking about the reps of a healthy pregnancy. And when we're talking about reps, that's what, like I said, this is what the show is about. It's repetition of something. And when you make a rep, just one, you're becoming stronger in that area. So I want you to think of it, not only is it a challenge, but it is exciting because you're doing something new and you're doing something different. Or maybe you have had littles before and you're doing it again, but you want to do it better. And I know for me, this is my 3rd go around, and I want to do it better than the last and the first. And that is all we can do, right? So the first step for, the reps of a healthy pregnancy is preparation. And like I said, that goes back to episode 62. So if you haven't checked that one out yet, go ahead and do that. But preparing for it. And there's so many things that we can think of as preparing for family planning or baby or becoming pregnant, or maybe we just find out. But in that sense of preparation, what I'm saying to you is spiritually, in your faith, in your walk with the Lord, preparing to grow your family. So whatever that looks like for you is, maybe it's praying with your husband or reading more diligently in your Bible. And that's a preparation of the heart. So I know for me, to be completely honest, the last few weeks have been very hard for me to set aside quiet time. Like, I mean, more than 15 minutes. So I'd like to go over, like, I guess, go back and start again. And when you realize that your preparation is a little bit off spiritually, everything, nothing really seems completely ready, right? And so you want to start there. And then in the preparation, area, you want to be in good shape. You want to feel good. You want to have the energy. You want to feel healthy and be healthy. And I do believe in 80-20. I mean, I'm not saying never go out. I'm not saying never have, an off meal or an off day. I'm just saying if you plan and prepare appropriately, you will be setting yourself up for success. And I want to set myself up for success and help you see success as well. So you want to prepare. And that is the first rep. And you want to prepare spiritually and you want to prepare physically. And that kind of leads us into number 2, which is movement. We need to move our bodies. We should exercise every day for at least 30 minutes, whether, it's walking for you or lifting weights. However, I do believe that there's something to be said for strength training along with a little aerobic exercise. And if you can pair those two up, you are bound to see success, more energy, less depression or type feelings that can come with becoming pregnant or postpartum. You want to prevent those. You want to prepare. So this kind of all goes into preparation. I might have to retitle this episode, but we're getting ready for something huge to take place, not only in our lives once the baby is here, but for 9 months within our bodies. And we're housing this little baby. And then at the same time, we're taking care of all of the other things as homemakers and moms. And that brings me to number 3. We want our nutrition to really be on point as much as possible, especially once we get out of that first trimester funk of feeling sick. Like I said in the last few episodes, if you can relate, I hear you, and I'm sorry, and this too shall pass. And it is rough. It definitely is. And it's, this is not for the faint of heart. Our hormones are going crazy. Our bodies are growing and doing different things. Our babies are taking almost all of our nutrients. So whether we get these things in or not, the baby will take them from our nutritional stores. That sounds like so rough, but this is the way that God designed it. So the baby will thrive in the womb, whether we choose to thrive outside or not. And it definitely is helpful if we have a nutritional plan in place. And I like to keep things simple. Usually what I do is pick, 1 or 2 recipes I'll make during the week that maybe I haven't made yet, or I want to try something new because I'm bored with some other things. And then my husband and I will prep a lot of food on the weekend. And usually it's about 2 protein sources. We really try to buy farm-raised, grass-fed. We try to stay local as much as possible. But, sometimes it can get really expensive. So then we'll, opt for organic from the grocery store and really put our dollars into quality animal protein. And that is where we are right now. And then on top of that, I'll make sure I'm getting enough veggies and fruit. I'm kind of excited to do this What I Eat in a Day episode. I wonder if I should video it too, because I love watching those. And then it does give me ideas for things like, oh, I didn't know I could add that or do this and maybe get a little extra protein here if I add, beef collagen or something like that. And I want to share those little wins with you along the way and help you get the nutrition you need to feel fit, to feel whole and healthy. And I have to be honest, like I'm going to be in the 3rd trimester very soon. I think I'm like 2 or 3 weeks away, and I'm already starting to drag a little bit and I hate it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what can I do? So I really need to, I'm going to self-experiment a little bit with some green smoothies. I'm going to try limiting caffeine, which I already have been down to 1 cup, maybe 1.5 cups of coffee, but I love coffee. So I think that might be aiding in my crash a little bit, but I want to end this pregnancy and get into that fourth trimester in the most successful way I can. So I also think that, if your nutrition is as good as it can be for where you're at and what season you are in your life, it's only going to help you heal post baby, because our body does go through a healing process. And a lot of people don't realize that. And in the United States here, we pride ourselves on, yep, bounced back right away, cooking in the kitchen, which is great for you. That's a good job, but I guess I can't really say that at the same time, because you should be healing and resting with your baby for as long as you can, whether that's only a couple days or a month and a half. I will tell you what, my last midwife wanted me to stay upstairs for 2 weeks and in bed, and then around the bed for a week, and then I could go downstairs. It was a very planned out process. It was a lot on the rest of my family. I had never done it before, and part of me felt guilty and antsy, but I did rest for a solid 14 to 20 days. I could have done a little bit more, and I probably should have. Our bodies take anywhere from 9 to 18 months to heal post-birth. So, you want to have that nutritional backup of, the practice you've had, the rep you've had of keeping your nutrition on point to help you during that process of healing, and then continually eating optimally through that postpartum period. And it's only going to help you feel better and recover more quickly. And number 4 for a rep, your fourth rep for healthy pregnancy, is additional support. So what I mean by that is, supplements. So for example, my midwife has me on a few different supplements. Beef liver capsules is one of them. And then one of the other ones that I think is very important is DHA and vitamin D. I generally have low vitamin D levels. I ran out. I have to get some more, like stat. And it's one of those things that you can supplement, and it actually makes sense to supplement vitamin D. I should definitely do a different podcast on supplements in general and the ones that I take. But those are my top ones. And then I also do take a multivitamin. So it's not to lean on this. And if I forget about it, which I shouldn't, but if I do once in a while, it's not a big deal, because my nutrition is almost where it should be. And I know we all struggle with fitting in that food, especially if the baby's sitting high, or if we're just feeling so full or a little nauseated or a little winded, which just even doing this episode, I'm like, why am I out of breath? But I hope this episode has encouraged you to focus on, a few things to have a healthy pregnancy and to walk into it with confidence and, just relievingly, I guess, what word should I use? Come out of it with relief and joy into the next season. And if you prepare, you move your body, you focus on good nutrition, and you have that additional support, which I should also add, could be your midwife or doula, your spouse, not just supplements. So think about that as you ponder a few things of, maybe there's one you need to focus on, and ask yourself, okay, which one, what stage of pregnancy are you in? Is this pre-pregnancy? Do you already know you're expecting? And where are you at? What can you focus on? And really pick one of those. So I'll name the 4 again, and I want you to think about, where can you fill in the gap to get your body where you're capable of being. So number 1 is preparation. Number 2 is movement. And number 3 is nutrition. And number 4 is additional support. Thank you so much for listening today. See you next time. If this episode motivated, inspired, or challenged you, will you share with a friend? I would be so grateful if you could leave Reps and Redemption an Apple Podcast review. This is the only way I know you like the show. Please join the Facebook group for accountability and community. Link in the show notes. Be bold, mama, and live well. Until next time.